Hey everyone. Sorry that I kind of have a bit of a cold opening here. I wish I had some awesome trailer to show you that goes with this awesome raid, but there is none. The closest I could find were a couple of fan-made trailers, including one by WoW Machinima that were actually pretty good. But I also started thinking, you know what? I'm actually not entirely cool with using someone else's trailer. At least not yet. I'm cool with just sticking with Blizzard's official trailers because I know Blizzard's cool with it. Other people may not be so cool with it, so... Sadly, there is no trailer for Blackrock Foundry. There is a patch trailer for Hellfire Citadel, which I can show, and I'm thinking about showing the Kilrog Lords of War short as well, and maybe even the Grom one. The Hellfire Citadel video could be extremely long, like the Siege of Orgrimmar one was, because there's quite a bit that goes into it. Because I really wish there was something I could show you guys that has to do with Blackhand, but they didn't actually make a Lords of War vid in that series about Blackhand, which is kind of surprising considering that he was the original war chief, at least in our timeline, not this alternate timeline thing. And this Blackhand, well, let's just say that something different happened to him. And if you're wondering about is this like the Blackhand from the Warcraft movie, no. This Blackhand is a little different than that one. It's the same character by name, but you know how if something different happens, you become kind of a different person? Yeah, again, it's that time travel alternate dimension thing that just makes everything weird in this, so especially when it comes to the characters. So anyways, this is part of the reason I want to unlock flying, which, before I did this video, because look at this place. This is in Gorgrond, and right over there are a couple of the dungeons. If you look here at the map, you'll see that's where the Grimrail Depot, which I believe is the dungeon with the train. There's the Iron Docks dungeon. And then right here, Blackrock Foundry. The thing about this raid is that you can effectively say this is the raid that we probably should have gotten by the end of the expansion. So let me explain what I mean. The whole, one of the big ideas and premises about this expansion, we are going here to stop the Iron Horde, this incredibly, technologically advanced force that was a legit threat, that by the end of the expansion, we were going to have this one awesome raid where we really go through the bulk of the strong forces of the Iron Horde, the Iron Horde. And take them down with Grommash Hellscream, or just Grom Hellscream. I guess I can distinguish our Grommash from, this version of Grom, who's terrible, a terrible person. With Grom being the final boss of the expansion. Obviously that didn't happen. We got Hellfire Citadel. So this is, by default, the raid that has us deal with the true bulk and the forces of the Iron Horde, because we deal a serious blow to the Iron Horde here in this raid. We deal blows to their forces, their technology, their manufacturing of weapons and other different things, their means of making very strong steel, metal, iron with the furnace and such. And of course we take out one of their ultimate leaders of the Iron Horde, which some people actually say is more so Blackhand than Grom, by taking out Blackhand. By the way, people used to say that Mythic Blackhand was one of the toughest boss fights they ever did. He was really hard. By the way, just to show it off, as we shift over to Warlords here, let me go do this. Boop, there we go. This is the mount that you can get from Mythic Blackhand, the Iron Hoof Destroyer. It's pretty big. In fact, I'll just go ahead and show it off real quick, because I have it. There it is. Look at how big this thing is. Yeah. I had this drop on only my 9th attempt on Mythic Blackhand. I got pretty lucky with this drop. I'll be honest, this wasn't even one of those mounts that I was like dying to have, but I'm glad to have it. It's a pretty awesome looking mount with the whole, you know, fire through the nose thing. It really does look like, you know. Oh, just ignore that. That's just lightning outside our house. Wow. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a thunderstorm going on outside in my area. As at the time I'm making this video, just ignore that. That's just a lightning storm outside or whatever. It's alright, we're in here about to enter Blackrock Foundry, so let's get indoors, shall we? So, let me just go ahead. Yep. That's how you can always tell it's on Mythic, when you have the skull icon right there. Let's head on inside. This raid is pretty fun and has some really cool boss fights, really cool designs. The aesthetic is awesome. I've always loved the iron aesthetic. And some of the sets in this place are awesome. No, seriously. If there are some of the best sets, in my opinion, in the game. You know why? Because of how much animation is on them. This set I'm wearing right now, this is the full Mythic set for this from this raid for Hunters. Look at this. Look at the belt, the shoulder pads, and this is just the Hunter set. You guys need to see some of the sets for some of the other classes, like the Warrior. Oh my gosh, the Mythic Warrior set from this raid is amazing. So was the one for the Mythic Death Knights. If there are some sets you have to get the ones from Mythic Blackrock Foundry, which some you do have to get from, you know, you can get from High Mall as well. But oh my gosh, the Blackrock Foundry sets are amazing. So, if there is one raid you had to choose to farm stuff from, it's this, you know, in this expansion, it's this one right here. So right off the bat, we are greeted to, it's basically like a big factory, like where they are working on the stuff. And we're going to be hearing from Blackhand in just a bit as we go through. But let's go ahead and progress, shall we? By the way, if you're wondering, well, if you have the full set here, why are you doing this on your Hunter? Because the first time I came in here, I realized there was a boss in here that effectively made it feel like it was mandatory to bring a class with a pet in here. You can see all these different iron workers, tons of workers in here working on the stuff in this room, in this area. Lots of stuff, lots of trash in here. Oh, and by the way, this place is huge. It's got multiple floors. Which I'll be showing you, like, the default route that I usually go through when I go in here. But anyways, there's a boss coming up here that's going to be the first boss we face that made me realize I needed a pet for it, because he does a mechanic where he basically stuns you on the ground and you cannot get out of it. The first time I came in here to attempt this on Mythic, I was on my Paladin. And, well, when we get to the boss, I'll explain why that's kind of a big deal. And why I'm saying you have to do this either on a Hunter, a Death Knight, or a Warlock. Though there are some other ways around it. If you can burst them really quick, that's great. On my Shaman, I can also bring out my Elemental. So, but this is the first boss right here that we can face here with a few different pets, which, by the way, are now mounts you can get, courtesy of Time Walking Warlords. This is Beast Lord Darmok. As a young orc, Darmok quickly rose to the ranks of the Thunder Lord as a gifted trainer of beasts. Where others only saw animal instincts, he recognized intellect and drew forth untapped potential from brain and muscle and bone. When the Iron Horde demanded his service, Darmok saw no greater honor than to outfit and train the most savage beasts Janor had to offer. Wow, that is loud rain. Wouldn't be surprised if that's hail, actually. I mean, you know, I've heard hail is no stranger to this area, part of Texas. So, let me try and show the mechanic here that he does that made me realize I had to bring a pet in here to help me out. Where is it? Where is it? Ah, it's right here. Pinned down. All right. Damage and enemies in the yards that are suffer much damage and are pinned down by the spear. Spears can become flame touched with spirit. Here's the thing: when you get pinned down by the spear, you cannot get out of it. I know this because I was on my paladin and I hit invuln and it wouldn't work. It would not work. So I realized, okay, I need to bring a pet in here to deal with this pin down mechanic here. So. But yeah, I want that mount right there. That wolf right there, I want that. You can also get that right there as well. I do have that one right there, because that's in the shop. By the way, the Iron Hoof Destroyer that I showed just earlier, that's going to come out of that gate.
Come! Your meat and bones will feed my animals. Aid me! 4, 3, 2, 1... No! I will wield your strength! I will not die here! Fault
there it is.
4, 3...
I'm hoping to get the last piece I need from my shaman set. Alright. So, this next part is, at the moment, I think a little bugged to get through, but it's not impossible. You just have to kind of like work, find the right way to do it. So, and I'm not talking about the boss. I'm talking about the trash here to get to the boss. So,
incoming on 2.
this is one of the train bosses.
Track 3.
Now, if you like trains, you're probably going to like Warlords, because they had quite a few things to do involving trains.
Express coming through.
So this is the thing look at this. I am pressing my attack button. It's not hitting him, because apparently I'm not at the correct angle. So I have to make sure I get to the correct angle, which is like over here, or like back here or something like that, and then I'll finally be able to actually attack him. It's weird. You have to find the exact right angle, otherwise I can't attack him. And if I can't attack him, the train doesn't leave. So, now hold on. Let me try and get the rest of this trash first. By the way, this hurts. Or at least usually it does.
Track 2. Send her on down the line. Track 3. Track 2.
Try to do everything I can to try and make sure there we go. Yeah, it's a weird bug thing I think that's going on right now with this little portion right here. I hope they realize it and fix it. But it's a tad bit annoying, but it's not. Yeah, see, you just have to find the correct angle, and then it'll move. The train will move on, and then it'll let you get to the next part. You got to go through this whole portion here just to get to the boss. So
send her on down the line.
It is a tad bit annoying, but it's not the worst thing. I mean, you can just see all these forces, right? These trains with all these different things that they're trying to send out through all the various different parts of Draenor. These bombs, these forces, these weapons, these troops.
Blackhand wants to see these shipments in Talador. Now!
Yeah, see? Using these trains to get stuff to Talador and other places in Draenor for the Iron Horde forces. This is what I'm talking about when it's basically what we do in this raid is do a serious detrimental blow to the bulk of the forces of the Iron Horde.
Blackhand won't tolerate any more delays.
This is fun because trains are going to be coming through those gates from time to time. And, they're going to have, I can show it here before. Yeah, right there. Ah! Just threw me back. It's got fire down there.
3, 2,
yeah.
1.
Cauterizing bolt.
Ah! It even attacks the boss in the trash. That's, yeah, it's really fun.
Schedule.
Yeah. Alright, so the next part you basically, you know, this is why I say, or I've said this is my usual intended route, is once you do that, rather than go back that way, just go through here to get to the next level, down below.
Patience, sisters! The sooner we finish our work, the sooner we crush our enemies. Sorka, ensure the peons are keeping pace. My pleasure. Marat, load the ammunition into the main cannon. Right. What? The train?
You know, I just realized.
Schedule?
I think I see the problem. Let's see how well you've trained our soldiers, Garon.
You insufferable... Ugh.
Okay. I realized I forgot to read the thing on the guy we just fought. Operator Thogar. Known more for his cruelty and cleverness than for brute strength, Thogar oversees the operation of the Grimrail. From the Foundry's depot, he coordinates the ongoing ground battle against the Draenei in Talador, with entire battalions of troops and artillery at his beck and call. So, yeah, now we are also seeing the ships. This is one of the shipyards with one of those big, giant iron ships, which is an incredible, you know, look at that thing. That is quite a ship right there. Whew. So we gotta take care of the trash in this area here before the boss is ready.
Ha! What brutality! What bloodshed! Beautiful.
Sorka, this isn't a game! Get down there!
Don't worry, I'm coming. This looks fun.
Or should I say bosses? Because these are the Iron Maidens, with little opportunity to exercise her tactical brilliance under the ancient social structure of the Orc clans. Garen was thrilled to be one of the first warriors to volunteer for naval duty under the Iron Horde. Instantly successful in battle, she was named Admiral of the Iron Horde fleet and selected Merak and Sorka as her lieutenants. Together they are called the Iron Maidens and have crushed any who have dared face them in battle. So that is Admiral Garen. That's part of the mythic warrior set I told you about. Look at that. Look at those shoulder pads. Wearing this set on your warrior is awesome. That is Sorka. And that is Merak. It's part of the shaman set, it looks like. But yeah. Oof. But yeah, this is one of those council fights. It's pretty interesting.
Sisters, to battle!
Phase 2 attached
Oh God! No!
turret.
The battle to death!
The Iron Maidens have fallen! They were my favorite! Find these invaders and bring me their heads!
And that was Blackhand. By the way, does his voice sound familiar to you? Are you hearing him and thinking to yourself, you know, that voice sounds familiar. Where have I heard that voice before? Because that is Darren DePaul. If that name sounds familiar, that's probably because he's become a household name since he did this. So back in Warlords, he was not as well known as he is now. Because once a game called Overwatch came out, and a character by the name of Reinhardt became a household name, that's when Darren DePaul became a household name. Yes, that is Darren DePaul, voicing Blackhand, the same man who voices Reinhardt from Overwatch, and also voices other various characters here and there as well. if you're wondering why I'm coming back here, that's because I wanted to show you guys something. This is Gorluk Anvilcrack.
Loktar.
Once I walked these halls with pride, holding my head high as an orc of the Blackrock clan. But this is a wrong path. Our hammers were meant to craft axes, swords, not these machines from the stranger's whispers.
So you can pick up a quest here called Sigil of the Black Hand.
The warlord will not be swayed, not but by force. If you can retrieve essences from the Foundry's most powerful guardians, I can craft for you a sigil that will permit direct access to Black Hand's crucible.
This is the skip. This is the quest that lets you be able to acquire the skip to go straight to Black Hand. Now, I personally don't need this because, well, I already have the mount, so I don't have to go straight to Black Hand. And I have quite a bit of transmogs from this raid already as well, but if you're one of those who does not have the mount and you want to actually just go straight to him because you're trying to farm the mount as opposed to going through the whole thing to get mogs and such, then that's where you pick up the quest, and then you just kind of go about your business going through the raid 4 times in order to actually get the skip. Now, this is kind of fun. This area has fungal spores, which increases your movement speed. The longer you run in it, the more it's going to stack. It's really fun. So you can see how much fast I'm running. Now let's combine that with Cheetah. Whee!
I am the Flash!
So this is why I chose that route, because now we make our way here, which is another level. That's where the Iron are, but now there's an area over here with 3 more bosses. So this next boss is fun, because you're probably going to recognize who they are and who they're basically doing a play on.
Hey, Franz! Franzok! We got a jam! So, go unjam it then! I ain't unjamming it. I unjammed it last time! You wanna tell Blackhand we got a stamper that ain't stamping? Hey, you! Get in there and unjam that stamper! Yes, dispatch. We'll have some impurities.
This is Hans Grar and Franzok. Hans and Franz. Get it? We're here to pump you up. And of course that one sound, basically sounds like he's impersonating Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. People refer to these guys as the Schwarzenegger boss. Hansgar and Franzok are twin brothers raised and trained as masterful brawlers of their clan. Both carved paths of glory as warriors, but destiny had other plans. The brothers, each unwilling to slay the other in the rite of Mak'gora, were banished from their clan and left for dead. They survived as outcasts in the savage wilds of Draenor, and when the Iron Horde called, these powerful warriors found a new home in the massive war machine. So this is kind of a fun boss after you clear this trash and face them, because these belts are going to be moving and those things are going to be slamming down. So, yeah. Going to need some coordination. If you stand here, you can be able to kind of avoid getting moved by the stuff, but at the same time, some of the molten, burning slag from those things are going to hurt.
Your bones will be crushed to dust! I'm going to take you down! Hear me now, and believe me later! No, not like this.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
You worthless swine! Get back to work! We have a quota to make! Don't let them get by us! Ugh.
I need a target.
Look, you can see the conveyor belts with them making various weapons, especially these. This awesome-looking two-handed sword, which I have, by the way, because that's what's being used by the next boss we're going to be facing. And I know some people, like to come here with their classes that can wield two-handed weapons just to try and get this Mog because it looks awesome. That's the thing about this raid, is that a lot of the weapons and armor and such are just so cool looking because they have that Iron Horde aesthetic to it, which looks so cool. Look at how awesome that sword looks. And then, and then I'll show Blackhand's main weapon, which also looks awesome. Like, the stuff, the weapons and armor they made for Warlords is some of the best they've ever made, in my opinion, because it just looks so cool. Alright, so here's the next boss. Is Flamebender Kagraz. Under the banner of the Iron Horde, Blackhand has enlisted Flamebender Kagraz of the Burning Blade to imbue the Blackrock forged armaments with the essence of flame. Along with her assistant, Aknor Steelbringer, Kagraz toils before an ever-burning forge in support of the Iron Horde's conquest of Draenor. This is also where the garrison thing comes into play, because if you can kill her without killing him, you are able to get this guy in your garrison. So, and it's also an achievement, so. But you can see there's her weapon, and there she is channeling the essence of fire, trying to add that into the weapons of the Iron Horde.
My work. You've interrupted my work!
Lava slash. Lava slash. Lava slash.
My flame burned too bright.
Come on. Fine. Fine! I want to talk to him, but it won't because of the loot icon.
What do you need?
You defeated her. You have proven yourself to me and saved me from a life of toil at the forge. I pledge my life to you.
Go forth to victory.
I don't have the garrison on this character. I haven't done that intro quest yet to get the garrison. But I do have him in my main character's garrison. So that's another aspect of the Iron Horde's weaponry that we have, now gotten rid of because of this. Huh. Yeah, that's right. Go get him, boys.
I don't have a target.
Alright, so you see that biggin right there? That's the next boss. This is Kromog. The Magnaron are mysterious in their ways, ancient and inscrutable. Miners excavating an expansion to the foundry in support of the Iron Horde's massive production needs were horrified to unearth a chamber containing a living Magnaron. To their astonishment, Kromog began to assist in their endeavors, and now uses his massive stone fist to hammer out the gigantic plates needed for the Iron Horde's dreadnoughts and siege machinery. Yeah. Yup. So, I believe this guy can drop the last piece I need. That right there. I think so. Hopefully he drops it, and I can finish my shaman set.
Breath incoming.
It's a shame he doesn't give a translation of what he actually says.
Frenzy. Frenzy.
That beast was irreplaceable! Where are the attackers now? I want them dead! Dead!
Sadly, it didn't drop. Well, now we come back here to the grotto that we were just at before. You can see, you know, how this kind of like works with this route. It's like, all right, now we go through here. We get this super speed running through the fungal spores back to the elevator, which will take us back up to the main area, which will then let us go down to the final area that we have to go through before unlocking access to Blackhand. You can see there's the elevator right here. Just missed it. Oh well. But this is why I always recommend going this route that I'm doing here, as it just feels like the smoothest of the routes that you can take, and cutting down on the, hold on, we gotta turn around and run back over here, you know. Alright. Okay, so the next area we have to go to is through that door right there. You can see right there. Each area we've taken down, including the Iron Maidens and Kromog, has been removing a portion of the barrier in the gate here. Like, this was gated off. Now it's not. Every time we clear an area, this partly opens up. That's kind of the idea. Once we take down the last boss in this area, that last gate there will open up, letting us go to Blackhand. So we're going to see a familiar face in this area here. Like, oh, let's get these guys. Oh no, we've been ambushed from the sides.
I don't have a target.
Gronlings, So now we're finding some Gron in here. Interesting. And there he is.
I'm out of range.
So, of course, the idea of them bringing back stuff from Burning Crusade wasn't a very strange thing to do in this expansion. And, of course, this place is called Gruul's Lair. Hello, Gruul. Feel like we just recently saw you. Garrosh knew that the surest path to breaking the Gron lay in subjugating their great father, Gruul, because of his time with us in Burning Crusade. Known in another time as the Dragon Killer, our time, here Gruul has been reduced to the role of menial laborer. In a cruel mockery of the Shattered Hand's warrior tradition, his hand has been removed. Or rather, his hand has been replaced with a hook to enable him to more easily haul pallets of fuel to the furnace. That hook right there. Because that's what he's doing. He is, chunks of pallet over there, into there, to go into the blast furnace, which is a very integral part of this foundry. And you'll see, well, why and what we're dealing with when we get there. But yeah, this is what has happened to Gruul in this expansion compared to what he used to be like in Burning Crusade. Yeah.
Gruul kill you soon. 3, 2,
Inferno
1.
Slice.
Sounds like basically the same voice he had from Burning Crusade.
Inferno Slice.
3, 2, 1.
Petrifying Inferno Slice. Near you.
Just kind of letting some of the fight be shown off here while my pets kind of work on him. Look at the debuffs he keeps throwing me. Petrified. Yep. Kind of similar to the fight from Burning Crusade.
2, 1.
Inferno Slice.
3. Fall down.
So this, I do want to comment that this is part of what I was talking about, and what I actually was trying to refer to in Highmall, is the amount of gameplay and story integration. There's a lot of gameplay and story integration in this raid, which is great. The amount of things that we are effectively dealing a blow to with the Iron Horde and their resources and their, all their, their forces, the more we go through this raid with all these various different aspects here, each boss in each area, we are dealing a blow. And it's a great way to tell the story of what's going on here throughout this raid with each encounter. And it just felt like that was something that was severely lacking, especially in the Kargath fight in Highmall. There was basically no story gameplay integration there where you could actually see like the mechanics of the fight was part of the story of that character we were facing. The only thing was the crowd thing, but at the same time it's like, you would think Kargath would never want to be in an arena again, but anyways. Alright, so this is Oragorger. Oragorger. The storehouses of the Blackrock Foundry, laden with heaps and pallets of unprocessed Blackrock ore, represent a grand banquet feast for the ravenous rock-eating Gorin, who have burrowed into the chamber. Oragorger is by far the largest of the invaders, gluttony swelling his frame far beyond the size of any Gorin previously seen in Draenor. Yeah, that fight's kind of annoying, especially when he starts rolling around this whole area. It gets to be kind of an annoying fight. So, all right. So now we're gonna be heading down to the last boss in this area before we can get access to Blackhand, and it's the Blast Furnace itself. And it's a long fight, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. The Blackrock clan's unique ability to smelt the black ore, a substance so dense that ordinary flame does not even soften it, has always been their most closely guarded secret. Deep within the foundry, their furnace contains a primal force as old as Draenor itself, raging within the confines of its prisons as it emanates a preternatural heat. Yeah, it's basically, something called, it's a primal fire elemental called the Heart of the Mountain. It's how they're able to do that. So this is a Slag Behemoth, basically a play on the boss from Firelands. Ryloth, I believe his name was. So this is a long encounter. So as the fight goes on, we have to get those guys here to bring bombs and then close those up. Getting rid of these, because once we close those up, there's no way to vent the heat out. That will then cause that guy to come out and we can take him down. Doing the solo, you basically got to do this one side at a time. And, yeah, it can take a while. Meanwhile, as the longer it goes on, the more heat he keeps shooting out as the fight goes on. You'll see in a bit what I'm talking about.
Protect the furnace at all costs!
Bomb on you, run.
So we gotta hit that. There we go.
Bomb on you, run. Bomb on you, run.
So I have to stay here within range to damage this.
Bomb on you, run.
And you can see the health bars right here. This is the health bar for this right here. And you have to do so on both sides.
5,
And you can only get the boss to come out of the furnace once you have both of these closed by doing enough damage to them. But again, the only way to get, you know, bombs to close this is to get the engineers to bring the bag of bombs and then just keep, you know, doing this until it's used up. You get a bomb on yourself.
Bomb on you, run.
Oh, and you also want to take care of those guys because they just kind of keep turning this up. You see this heat level? The heart of the mountain will just create more blasts as it heats up. So it just keeps on doing those blasts, which keeps on doing damage to you.
2, 1.
Yeah.
Engineer coming.
I, of course, cannot speak to what this was like back when it was current content, but I would imagine that this encounter was not fun. That it was actually pretty crazy to do back in the day when it was current content. I'm not saying it was bad, but I can imagine some people just, you know, those guys will also repair, so you have to go over here. Boom.
Bomb on you, run.
Boom.
Bomb on you, run. Incoming.
Not quite done yet. It's almost there, but you have to wait until they actually run over to you. You're getting yourself covered in soot, by the way. Because, of course, you have bombs on you, and you're blowing them up on you.
Engineer
so
coming.
You have to make sure you take these guys out, because, of course, they are going to try
Bomb
to repair this.
run.
Boom. 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 Okay, that's closed.
We'll lick the
So now you have to go over to the other side.
from you.
And at this point, yeah, the heat level is all the way up to max, but again, if you're decently geared in your max level, you don't have to worry about that. It's not going to really be hurting you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Bomb on you, run.
5, 4,
Bomb on you,
3,
run.
2, 1.
Go ahead, Nick.
Engineer coming.
Might as well. Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh. Why'd he drop the bag so far away?
Run. Bomb on you, run.
There we go. Dude, get out of the way. I can't click on the bag with you there. That's annoying. Another annoying part. It's like sometimes these guys just like get in the way and you can't actually click on the bag.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Engineer coming. Bomb on you, run. Bomb on you, run.
What are you doing?
Bomb on you, run. Bomb on you, run.
Okay. You see what I mean about how this can take a while? Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Engineer coming. Collapse. Bomb on you, run. Bomb on you, run. Bomb. Bomb on you, run. Bomb on you, run.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Engineer coming. Bomb on you, run. Phase 2.
Is all
Alright, it's closed.
fools. If the Fury breaks free, our work will be ruined.
The Fury has broken free!
Yeah.
Slag elemental coming.
Quick! Get it under control!
Yeah, so now these guys have to try and, you know, get this thing under control and get it back on, you know, subdue it and such. Yeah. Without this furnace, they lose their capability of smelting all that black ore for their weapons and armor and all their different technology. So this is another huge blow we're dealing to them.
Phase 3.
Is free!
Slag bomb.
Warlord, we...
Now, you can see all that fire AoE damage he's putting out. Yeah, this...
A small victory, but now you will perish in the flame that burns at the heart of Blackrock. What happened to my furnace? Where are my guards? Shut these intruders down!
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, they're dead, Blackhand. And guess what? You're next. So with that, we have opened up the way to deal with Blackhand himself. Whoops. I looked away for a second, and I had auto run on. So that's Forge Mistress Flamehand. By the way, if you immediately engage her, this doorway closes. So if you have people following you, you're going to lock them out. So wait until your entire group gets in here, if you come in here with friends or whatever, to engage this boss. Yeah, see? Right there. Never engage an enemy, like, you know, a boss or mini-boss, without the rest of your group. Because otherwise you're just locking them out, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all. And now it is time for Blackhand, a ruthless tyrant and fierce warrior. Blackhand is warlord of the Blackrock clan, second only to Grommash in structure within the Iron Horde, bathed in sweltering heat.
You're the dogs who have been wreaking havoc throughout my foundry! Step forward. I will put you in your place.
Bathed in sweltering heat that few other mortals could withstand, Blackhand oversees the operations of his foundry from atop its crucible, wielding his smoldering slag hammer to forge weapons of peerless quality. What the heck was that? So I just want to point out some things that's awesome about this room. Notice the iron star right above our heads. You know, part of the technology that Garrosh brought to the Iron Horde to help them get such a big lift up in their tech. We're also going to see some things here because... Okay, first off, I love the Blackrock logo here. But this floor is going to get... well, you'll see.
I will hang your broken bodies from the gates of this foundry.
Bomb incoming.
I'll tear this place apart if I have to. 1.
Shattering smash. Demolition.
Everyone down!
Phase 2.
Woo! Ho, ho, ho! Then we have some other stuff that's going to be coming in, like those tanks, you know, and such. Yeah. Trains and such. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy fight. Oh, and that's not even, like, all of it. Ah! So, if you don't have a pet, that will reset this encounter.
How are you?
Help, Soap.
Chief's weapon. Without us, he...
Yep, he's right. Because then, the whole thing with the Legion happens. So, but yeah, you can get some stuff for other transmog pieces. You also get this awesome-looking sword. This is an awesome-looking sword. Hey. I can do that if I want, though what's funny is I already have all the pieces for the set, so... let me show some of the other stuff you can get from him. So, of course, I mentioned the mount. He also has this awesome-looking staff. He also has his weapon right there. That mace right there, the Black Hand. That is one of the coolest two-handed maces in the entire game. Look at that thing. Oh, it's so cool. There's the helm for the Warlock. You know, some other set pieces here as well. Trinkets and such back when, you know, this was current content. But yeah, and then of course, you know, so if you want to come here and get the staff, the sword, the mace, the mount, some other pieces for your set, and the, you know, the illusion here, Mark of Blackrock, which I don't believe I actually have. I have the Mark of Shadow Moon. No, I still don't have this illusion, the Mark of Blackrock. Let me see if I can actually look at it, see what, you know, what it looks like. Mark of the Frost Wolf. Don't have that. Here it is. Ooh, that's not a bad looking illusion there. Enchantment. So there you go. Yeah, look at how far we dropped in. Yeah. And so we have taken out Blackhand, who some consider the real leader of the Iron Horde, because what happens next, well, you'll see in the trailer, Grom was, well, after the events of both Nagrand and Gorgron, Grom was not necessarily entirely behind all this, you know, sort of, because then Gul'dan is like, okay, enough's enough. Drink this or else. And, well, that leads to basically Grom going, you know what, forget you and your poison. And Gul'dan's like, okay, fine, Grom, I'm just going to put you to the side here, and I'm going to have somebody else drink this, and I'm going to really bring now the real force into play here instead of this Iron Horde. So we'll be taking a look at that and Hellfire Citadel when we return. Stay tuned.